Sly, I sent a message to Randy. It's not like him to be late, so I think he must be stuck on a call or something. If you want to start, by all means, you can.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we will get started. 'Cause I was just going through the list of everybody who accepted. Everybody who has accepted is on here, with the
Oh,
exception
Randy
of
didn't
Dan.
accept?
No, he did not.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
mhm.
yeah, yeah. So with that, again, I want to tell everybody good morning. With me, so everybody's aware, I have Alma. She's actually here to, to assist as well as make sure I'm doing what I'm supposed to do when it comes to training. So we're actually doing an audit on this class. So I need to be as professional and as funny as I possibly can be during this whole session.
Oh, boo.
No messing up, Sly.
Yeah, I'm gonna try my best to not to. I have a bad habit of stuttering and everything, but it happens. Anyway, so can everyone first and foremost see my screen?
Yeah.
Yep, I can see it.
All right. Well, let's move this out the way. I don't want that to be. I want that to be over here. Basically, we're here today. We have three new cabinets we're going to be introducing to you all's area. Based off of those three new products we have that's out there, the things we're going to cover. We pretty much, as we always do, we're going to go through all of the exterior components, the door locations, the locks, the attendant key, as well as how to go understand how to go about opening and closing the doors, and then what components you will have that's behind there. We're not going to go into the remove because that's not something y'all do, but based on my presentation, I just had it on there, have this listed so I have an idea what it is we're going to be doing. We're going to be talking about the Cascada cabinet, your landmark, as well as your cosmic upright. Where everybody's good on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
All righty. So the very first cabinet, the one that's new that's come to your market that you're going to be using, it's going to be our Cascada cabinet. It's pretty much it's going to be the picture that you see. It's going to have obviously a main door, which is going to be the whole top assembly right here. It's going to have an eye deck that's going to have what we call dual bash buttons. Based off these dual bash buttons, they're really nice because if one button doesn't work, obviously the other one will. So you don't necessarily have to have two buttons, but if you're left-handed, you can play left-handed. If you're right-handed, you can play right-handed. But the point here is like if one were to go out, the other one will still be functional. We have what we call a common build and path entryway for almost every cabinet we create within LNW. We use the same process for those cabinets. Pretty much that build and pathway is going to be over here. We see my mouse, right up above the iDeck itself. Then when it comes to locks, not you don't have to worry about locks, but you need to know where these locks are going to be. You're going to have a lock that's going to be for your main door. You're going to have one that's going to be for the logic door, which is over the CPU, and then you're also going to have a lock for your cache box access door. So those are going to be the three locks we're going to have on this cabinet. As the call out shows you, these are the locations of all the doors and locks. Starting with item A, we'll have our main monitor. Now, A is obviously pointing at the top display, but this is actually two displays, so we want to consider those two displays the main monitor. When it comes down to item B, this is going to be our belly door. Belly door is obviously the door where we used to keep our cash box hoppers and things of that nature. But this one it's going to be located situated on the left hand side, right below the iDeck. Depending on your jurisdiction, you could have 1 to 2 locks. Based off of 1 to 2 locks, again, depending on your jurisdiction will dictate what's going to take place there. Item C is actually the physical belly door itself. And we'll get into how you go about opening that. And then you're going to have the main door release latch. Again, this could come with 1 to 2 locks, depending on your jurisdiction. But the purpose of it is to keep the main door locked. We have an attendant key. Now, with you all on this particular cabinet, you're actually going to have 2 attendant keys. One's going to be for the retailers, and one's going to be for the operator, and we'll get into that in a little bit. And then we're also going to have item F, our cash box access door, which is where the validator and everything is going to be situated at. Everybody's good on those?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
All righty. Now, as I was saying, with this particular cabinet in you all's jurisdiction, you all are going to have 2 locks. As you can see, we're going to have one lock, we're going to call it the retailer's lock or the attendant key. based off of this attendant key, all the function that you all had in the past, accessing the operators, the attendant menu to see meters, put the game out of order, control volume things, that function is still there. With this attendant key, the main door can be open or closed, so it doesn't make a difference. This attendant key will still function as it normally did. Then what we've done, we've added in what we call a operator's reset lock. This pretty much says the main door has to be open. This is going to be used by the operators or the people who's going to be optioning the cabinet out, working on those type of things. Unfortunately, with this key, the door has to be closed. It will, Betty, if the door is closed, it doesn't do anything. So the door has to be open in order for them to get into the operator's menu. This provides them not only one means of getting into the operator's menu, but there's actually two now. So they don't necessarily have to use the self-test button that's inside the cabinet that's on the CPU. They can access the operator's menu through this key. Now, getting into some of these movies, one of the first things we're going to take a look at, we're going to look at the exterior of the cabinet. Based off the exterior of the cabinet, this is me pointing out, the cabinet with the main door. Again, it has two displays. You'll have your dual bash buttons that's on the iDeck. You have an area where your player tracking is at, as well as you have your build path and ticket entry setup that's on this cabinet. Pretty straightforward, nice. Now, when it comes to after you got the main door open, for this one, as far as retailers, the only time you're really going to take a look at this is if you are having issues with the audio. I mean, you're not going to be actually troubleshooting them, but just so you have an idea, right back here on the back on the right-hand side, this is our audio board. Obviously, it controls all of the audio. So if your retailers are having issues, they go into the attendant menu and they're playing with the volume and they see nothing is still happening. They can take a look inside to see, that's going to be the key word, to see if this board is actually turned on. If they don't see anything going on, of course, they will obviously call your operators to come out to take a look at what's going on with it. And the suspected problem is probably going to be that audio board. It could be a disc, it could be the power's not connected, it could be that the USB cable's not seated, but this is what controls all of our audio. So when your retailers are looking at the cabinet and they're in the attendant menu, if they sit and adjust the volume and nothing's happening, obviously they're going to give a call, but they can open up the cabinet, take a look behind the main door just to see if it has power on that board. Come on.
Like, I
This
think I
movie that's
lost
not,
you.
no,
Oh, there.
this video, it didn't want to play. Now, based off of this video, I'm pretty much showing you we have, as I stated, the bill validator and the printer is they're stacked. So we have that one entry where you can put tickets in, or put tickets, notes in, as well as you can print your tickets out. We have two different positions for this type of assembly. One of them is called the operator's position, which is what you see right here. And then the other is going to be the service position. In order for you to put the bill validator in the service position, or in other words, when you want to go in and change your printer paper, check for bill jams and things, to put it into that service position, you're going to have this lever right here, pretty much this long arm that's going down. And then behind that long arm, that's going to be this little silver lever, we'll call it for better, lack of a better term. You will press on this lever toward the handle, and then you will lift up. As you will see in the video, I will come in, I will press on that lever. If I may press on that lever, I can now lift this, take the bill valid and printer, I can put into the service position. Just like all other printers, you pretty much can go ahead and change the paper here in this position. But to get to the validator, you also have to put in the service position to check the transport housing and all that. So I'm over exaggerating here in the video, but as you can see, you lift up on it. Now with the validator lifted up, you have the ability, let's pause it differently. If I can stop it to where it's clear, there we go. You now have the ability to go in and you can service the bill validator transport housing. To pull out the validator, and depending on the type validator you have, the one I'm showing is going to be the JCM. with the JCM, and I think this is the one y'all gonna have in y'all's cabinet. You're actually gonna have like this little green handle down here at the bottom. That person will press down on this lever, and then they can pull the validator out. Once they get it out, they can go ahead and on these two green tabs up top, they can press on those up and up the bill validator housing. Take a look and see if there's any bills jammed in there. Do it like any minor cleaning stuff of that nature. So it's just like all the other validators that are out there in the cabinet, that when it comes to servicing it or even taking a look at it to see if things are going on. But you have to put it in the service position in order for you to work on it. Everybody good on that one?
Yep, looks good.
Yeah.
All right.
Hmm.
So pretty much I'm just going through again, not that you're all going to service it, but just like all other printers, it has it to where you can actually pull it forward to change papers should you have to. If you want to take it off, there's a lever obviously on the bottom where they can take and pull it out. But again, this is not something that you all expecting your people to do. All right. Next one on my agenda. Next one is going to be pretty much the printer, putting the printer back into its position. Stop, restart. So based off of this, again, to put the printer and the BV housing back into its operating position, the one thing that I would suggest, based off of your retailers, we all have a tendency, it's like we see something with the lever on it. We'll sit and we'll press on that lever, and I'll go back again. We have a tendency, we'll grasp on this handle here, and we want to force it down. Because it has a little gas strut right down here where my mouse is pointing to the left of in between the CPU and the validator, there's this shock that's in there. Naturally let it go down into its service position and don't force, because if you force, you have a tendency to blow out this strut right here. Now, I mean, it will take a lot of strength to do that, but over time, the more we press down on something that has resistance, the more susceptible we are to make it to where we could damage it. So based off your retailers, when they go to put this back in the operator's position, again, as you'll see, I'll grasp on the handle, I'll unlock it, and I'll just allow it to go back into its place on its own. Once it is down in its position, you can take a hand and press down on it to make sure that it is in position. But you will hear right down here where my mouse is pointing right now, this is where it actually is in its resting position. You will hear like a little click. So once they hear that click, that is an indication that the printer and the validator is now back in its operator's position, so it's ready to be used. All right. Stop that, restart that. When it comes to opening the belly door, better all the doors, that's what I'm going to show you here. The belly door is the easiest one of it all. As you can see, my big head anyway. Depending upon your jurisdiction, you could potentially have two locks, but I think you all will have one lock. For the belly door, you simply insert your key, and when you insert the key, you're going to turn it clockwise, and this door will swing open. Thus, I'm pointing out that's your main door lock lever. This is your cash box access door. Again, you could have two locks. That is your attendant key, but remember on your all's cabinet, you will have two keys. One will be for attendant and one will be for the operator. The attendant key or retailer key is the key that you all will be using more so than the operators. All right, let's open up the door now. To open up the lower doors again, I'm going to take my key. I'm going to unlock my lock for my main door release latch. Now, what it's going to have like this little T handle. You simply just pull on it, and then when you pull on it, you can grasp it from the right-hand side, and the door will swing open to the left. Now, the one thing that you all don't have to worry about, because your operators should already have the cabinets mounted to the slot base. If it isn't, pretty much they shouldn't touch the doors, because with these cabinets, they're top heavy. And when they're shipped, they'll have boxes in front of it. Oops, didn't want to do that. It'll have boxes in it, but once you all get them, they will be mounted to the base. At that time, it's truly safe for y'all to open and close this door. Again, I don't see a reason why they would open the door if it's not mounted on the slot base. And if it's not on the slot base, just advise your people to not bother the cabinet until it's mounted to the base because these cabinets are what we would call top heavy. And when you open up that monitor, it does have a tendency to fall forward. So we want to make sure that they don't get hurt in that hurt doing that. Now, when it comes to it went back to the beginning. So we'll go through this process again, and then I'll let the video. So that's the main door open. Next one's going to be the belly door. Again, it's just a matter of inserting the key. You turn the key clockwise, and the belly door will swing open. And next will be belly door here. So I'm going to insert the key, turn it, well, dropped it the first time. Obviously, you gotta love those spring-loaded keys. So I'm gonna take the key, and as you saw, I just turn the key, and this door will just swing open. It doesn't have like any handles or levers the way you have to worry about, opening it. And then for the cash box access door, the same thing. Now, as you've notice what I did there. I'll go back a little. In order for you to open up the cash box access door, you need to remove that attendant key, as you just saw me do. If that attendant key or even the retailer's key is in there, I'm sorry, the operator's key, you try to open up that cash box access door, it will not open up completely. Thus, you will not be able to get to the cash box. So we need to make sure that they take the retailer's key as well as the operator's key out before they go to open up the cash box access door. With that key out the way, you can now take your key for the cash box access door, turn it, and what will take place is you can see the door opens, and then behind your cash box access door, you're obviously going to have your cash box door. That will most likely be a different key, but you will take that key and you will insert it into that door, and then that door opens, giving you access to the cash box itself. The subwoofer, not that you all will have to remove the subwoofer, but the subwoofer is pretty much, it's a real easy device. And again, I don't see a reason why your retailers would have to, but if they had to, it's pretty much you'll have a cable that I'm showing you right now that will be disconnected, and then it's just a matter of grasping the subwoofer from the front, and it will slide out. Again, I don't see a reason why they would have to, but if you all had to take it out, the subwoofer comes out fairly easy. For the
Yeah,
cut,
no, we wouldn't want the retailer to do that at all.
Yeah, I kind of figured
Yeah,
that, but I'm gonna put
yeah,
that in
all
there
good.
just in case. They're like,
Yeah.
how do you take the subwoofer out? That is in there. Are there any questions regarding the Cascada cabinet as far as the doors, the openings, and locations of certain components?
No, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good too.
All right. Now let's take a look at our landmark cabinet. This is going to be, again, another one of those cabinets that you all are going to be receiving. Now, for the Cascada, that's going to be your VOT cabinets. For your landmark, transparent, as well as the cosmic upright, that's going to be your class 3 machines. Only difference there is, and I'm pretty sure you already know, it's just our VOT will be run from a back-end system. Our class 3 is going to be something that's going to be running pretty much a standalone machine on the floor out there. With the transparent, and we have two cabinets, they look identical. One is the Landmark 7000, and then we have the Landmark 7000 transparent. The difference between those two is they look, again, alike. So item A, you could potentially have a topper or a very top monitor. Item B, you will have a main door or top monitor. That is always video. Item C, for your transparent, it is actually a display, a monitor also, but what it has in the middle where you can see those 3 reels, if the cabinet was off, it would just be a black screen. It'll look just like a monitor display. Based off of item D, you will also have your belly door. When it comes to whether it's the 7000 or the 7000 transparent, your locks will again be the same. Item G, this is going to be where your attendant key will be at. Item F, you're going to have a lock, and I'll show you a better picture of this in a little bit, but this is where your main door lock is going to be. And item E is going to be where your belly door is. So regardless of the cabinet, I'm kind of like trying to sell, if y'all also decided to get the 7000, the real mechanism cabinet, it's actually the same. The only thing that will be different is items B and C. B and C for the transparent, which is the cabinet you always get, is actually 2 video displays on that cabinet. Now what I'm going to show you, we're actually going to show you how to go about, and let's stop this and restart it. Well, what it actually looks like on the outside. Pardon the glare, but this is kind of like the lower part of the cabinet that you will see. As you can see, as I was telling y'all, the lower monitor is actually video. There are mechanical reels behind it, but you will not see those until the cabinet is turned on. You will have an IDEC button panel. The button panel will have one bash button on it. You also have a place where, again, the printer and the validator, well, the validator is going to be on one side, the printer is going to be on the other. On the right-hand side, where you see the big arrow, this is where you will put your notes as well as your tickets in to put credits and stuff on the game. When you want to go about printing a ticket, it's going to come out over here on the left-hand side. And I'll show you what that looks like here in a few seconds when we go inside the cabinet. Now you're going to see me modeling. This is pretty much our 7000 cabinet, but it's identical to the cabinet you're going to have. That's your topper monitor. This is your top monitor. This is going to be where you're going to have your other monitor is going to have reels behind it. This is going to be where you have your player tracking as well as your ticket, your BV, and then you're going to have an IDEC. Down at the very bottom of that, below your IDEC, is where your belly door is going to be. And like I said, this is probably rude and crude on this one, but I'm going to give you better angles based off of seeing those doors up close a little better, and that way you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. When you're looking at the side of the cabinet, as you can see, as I told you, first and foremost, here's your attendant key. That allows you to get into the attendant menu. Here's going to be your main door key. And down here, this is going to be your release lever to open up the main door. To open the main door, you're obviously going to unlock the lock, and then based off once the lock is unlocked, you're going to take this lever and you're going to pull it up. You'll grasp on the door and open the door. But again, I'll show you that here in a little bit. But just so y'all know, that's where all your locks are located for this particular cabinet. Here, I'm going to show you how you go about actually, opening the door and stuff again, but I'm also going to point out I hope I select the right video. I'm going to show you how you go about opening that main door. Now, this door, so y'all know, I mean, it's not as smooth. So, I mean, because of up here at the very top, you have your top display. And in this angle, it's maybe a little hard, but I mean the door does open, and as you'll see, I got the door unlocked. I'm going to pull up on that release lever. Once I pull up on that release lever, I'm going to grasp on the door. I mean, you can grab it from the bottom or even from the side, as you see I'm doing, and the door open. Now, it looked like this door, the particular door, did not grasp or grab, but I mean, it may grab a little bit, but the door will open. So if some of your people, they may struggle a little, but it shouldn't be that bad. Once you got that main door open, one of the things that I want to point out to everybody here is, let's stop this and restart it. With this door, when you open it and you say you go to close it, you may have issues with the lever. Based off of the lever, and we pause here. Right here above my screwdriver, this is what controls the switch for that door. So when they go to close that door, if the tilt does not go away, have them take a look at this little lever, and the next video will show a little bit better. But this could potentially be a reason why that main door does not close. I'm also pointing out here the audio board. Based off the audio board, again, not that they will troubleshoot it, but if they're having issues, it's going to be situated on the right-hand side of the cabinet with the main door open. Your power switch, this is a very important one. Everyone needs to know where this power switch is located at. I always, when I open up this cabinet, I get confused, but remember this, as soon as you open up the main door, it's going to be situated directly below reel strip number 2. If you are of a certain height, it's real easy. You'll see it, but if you're my height, you won't see it. To the left with the main door open, here's where you'll find your printer. The printer again is real easy for you to go in and change the paper out should you have to. As you can see, you can slide it in and out to do what you need to do on that one. This lever here is going to be the lever you're going to use to open up the top display, and I'll show you all that here in a few minutes when it come to opening the very top display. Here's your validator. Based off your validator, we're obviously using an MEI in this particular instance, the cabinet I got. Just like any of the other validators, the purpose of it is to verify your tickets and your notes are authentic. Now, based off of taking the MEI out, as you saw, what I did was I pressed on the lever, pulled up on it, and then grasped on the head, and I can take it and pull it out. Once I get it pulled out, I can service it. I can check the game to see if I have any ticket jams, things of that nature. For your reel basket, you will have what we call mechanical reels. Should you have to take them out, they're actually fairly easy. And as you'll see, let me hit the right button. You'll have 3 of them, and each of these reel strips are unique. They have a certain location they need to go into. But should you have to take them out, and I'll get ahead of myself in the video, your reel strips will be labeled, should be labeled. If they're not, I will honestly, your operators, they should go through and they will label them based off reel strip number, position 1, position 2, as well as position 3. Again, each of the reel strips do have different symbols, even though they do look like they are identical. But they should take care of that. But should you have to take out, say your retailers are experiencing a reel tip to where the mechanical reels are turning, the first thing you would probably want to have them do is go ahead and power cycle the cabinet. See if that fixes the issue. If that does not fix the issue, the second thing you will have them do is there's a thumb screw right down here at the bottom. You'll need a little Phillips screwdriver. You'll loosen this screw, and then with the cabinet off, take the reel basket out, take it and see if there may be any debris inside that housing. If there is, remove that debris, blow it out, and then again to reinstall it, reinsert it back in, tighten that thumb screw, turn it back on, bring the game back up online, and 90% of the time that should clear any reel tips that they may experience. So we'll let this play. I'm pretty much just showing you the 3 reels that they have. When it comes to taking it out, obviously, again, like I say, you're going to need a Phillips screwdriver. You'll sit and you'll turn it, loosen it up, and then once you get it turned, it will easily, you can grasp it at the bottom or on the handle. I'm showing you a guide pin here. You'll grasp on the handle, and you can take it and pull it out. Now, based off of this cabinet, the reason why I pointed those standoffs off is you cannot take this particular reel basket out of the 7000 transparent and put it into a 7000 because we made it to where the reel basket houses are very different. Now, not that you all have both cabinets, so you don't have to worry about it, but if you did have both cabinets, you could not take the reel basket out of the 7000 transparent cabinet and put them in our regular 7000 because we've made the openings for the 7000 transparent cabinet to where you have these alignment pins. Select. Now, when it comes to open up the belly door, you got 2 ways to go about opening the belly door. This is the very first way. As you can see, you'll have the key. You will insert the key, unlock it, and then you got this little lever. You will pull on this lever. The belly door will open this way. This is the first way. Now, if you have the main door open, there's obviously a different way. Here I'm stressing, it's based off of that lever. You can pull on that lever and it will drop down. But this is one way to go about opening the belly door. The other way is you have to have the main door open. With the main door open, you have this little yellow lever. You will pull on it to the left as you saw, and the belly door will also open this way. But to do this way again, the main door has to be open. All right? So there are 2 ways to go about opening that belly door. Now, with the belly door open, we have what we call a security door. We put this on every cabinet. Based off of this particular security door compared to all of our other cabinets, this door always has to be in place because it does have a switch on it. To open up the security door, you're going to see there's this lever right here. I'm going to pull up on this little silver lever here. And what's going to take place, you'll see the security door drop down, but I have a different angle that I'll show you that as well. So we're going to go through. I'm going to lift up on this lever, and the security door will come up, will open. Now, the chances of your retailers, honestly having to go behind theirs probably slim to none. But if they have to open up that security door for whatever reason, that's how they will go about opening that door. Behind the security door is where you will find the CPU. Based off the CPU, for your retailers, it's not a whole lot they need to do. But as I tell everybody, whether you're a retailer or even an operator, when you know you have a known good cabinet, have them take a phone out, take a picture of the front of the CPU. More so, take a picture of over here on this left-hand side. When this cabinet is on, there will be a code that will show right here in the front. This way, if they are suspect they have an issue with the cabinet, they can let the operators know or your field service people know. It's like, hey, I'm taking a picture. This is the code I see on the front of my CPU. They have the documentation that tells them what these codes represent. So if you want to help the field service people, know what is going on before they get there, your retailers can take a picture of the CPU and send them a code send them the code that they see on front of the CPU. Outside of that, that's not else they really need to worry about on front of the CPU. But to access the CPU, it is situated behind the security door. Now, when you want to go about to open up your topper, as I showed y'all earlier, right next to the printer, you will have this lever. This lever, you will pull on this lever. Once you pull this lever open, this door is going to swing the opposite way of the main door. And as you see, I will grasp it on the left-hand side, and I can now swing it open to get behind the topper. Now, again, I can't think of anything that your people will really need to do up here, but if they had to open it, that's what they will do. That's how they would go about opening up that door. And I'll pause this in a second because you'll see there's nothing behind the top door for the retailers to really worry about up there. So I'll open this one more time. Just a bunch of spaces up there. I mean, for your field service people, this is where they can put their player track and everything. But there shouldn't be anything they have to worry about. Troubleshooting up there in the top or looking at things up there. Everything they want to be concerned with will be situated behind the main door itself.
Yeah, I agree.
Now, if they happen to open that door, there is a correct way to go about opening this door. So when you have the main door open and you try to close it and then you try to close the top display, as you can see, it will not happen. So if they happen to open up both doors, when they go to close it, the top display has to be closed before you close the main display or the bottom display. But again, I don't see them opening up that door. But if they do, and pretty much they'll see if they try to close it, like this door is not going to close this way. All right. With that one, that pretty much covers the landmark. Are there any questions or concerns regarding the doors, the locks, or the even components that is situated behind each of the doors?
Nope, I'm okay.
Yeah, I'm good too.
I'm good.
All right. Excellent. The very next cabinet we want to talk about is going to be our cosmic upright.
The best for last.
This is the best for last, right? This is again one of our new cabinets we have that came out. It's pretty much replacing some of our older cabinets. This is a upright cabinet, so it does go on a slot base. For you all, again, based off of your doors and monitors and everything, up at the very top we will always have our topper. The display below your topper will always be your main display. Item C, your attendant key will be situated toward the front of the iDeck, to the left of it. Item D is obviously going to be your cash box access door with everything. Item E, now y'all gonna love this one. This is where you're going to, if you had to open up the main door, where your main door release handle is going to be at. And then you're obviously going to have also a lock pod for your main door. I will show you all those here in a few minutes. But based off of the opening this door, it's a little bit different because with the Cascada as well as the landmark, your levers are obviously, you can see them without having to hunt. On this particular cabinet, it's more of a touch feel situation where you have to actually take your hand, and you'll see it in the video. Go below the eye deck on the right hand side, and then you'll feel for this release lever. You'll pull on it, and your main door will open. But like I said, I'll show you all how you go about doing that. Starting with the main door right off the bat. How do we go about opening the main door? Fresh. As you can see, I have two videos here. The video up top is pretty much, showing you the whole view of the front of the cabinet. The video at the bottom is showing you the bottom of the cabinet. On the bottom of the video, this release lever, my mouse is kind of like, it's going around that release lever I was telling you about. So you're obviously going to insert your key. You're going to turn it clockwise. With it in the unlock position, you're going to grasp on this handle, and you'll see me do it in the video. And I'm going to pull it toward the front of the cabinet, and then my main door will pop up. Now, this door is like all of our doors that have a strut on it, or a shock, as some people call them. This door does not spring open as hard as a lot of our other doors. So you don't have to worry about this door when you open it, just swinging open real hard. It opens up real soft. But when I explain to everybody, it's like when I go to open up any of the doors on the cabinets, I still will take a hand and support it, i.e., you'll see me do in the video. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the lock. Then I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to grasp on that release lever. And as you saw up top, when I pull on that release lever, and I'll go back again so you can see it, that door opens. So we'll go back. So not back a little bit further. So with it unlocked, my other hand supporting it. Now I'm giving the door a little bit of support to allow it to open, but it opens up real easy. You don't have to worry about it swinging open real hard and the whole cabinet shaking. Again, the hard part is it's just knowing where that release lever is at, because it is kind of hidden when you look at that cabinet. With the main door open, to the left-hand side, and again, I'm pointing out this audio board and everything so y'all are aware where they're situated at in case they're having issues. When you have the main door open, to the left-hand side, directly behind the main monitor, is where this audio board is. Again, based off of retailers, they pretty much just going to take a look to see if it has power. If they don't see power, they can let the field service guys know, hey, I went into the attendant menu, I played with the volume up and down, and I'm not getting any volume. From there, you can take a look at the audio board, see if it has power. If it has power, then it's obviously something else. But they can at least take a look at that and let the operators know when they come out to take a look that we've already looked at this. So it's not this problem, but they probably won't listen anyway because we're stubborn that way. But at least they tried to take a look and see what was going on, and they can troubleshoot it from there. But this is situated on the left-hand side of the cabinet behind the main door. In this particular cabinet, we have what we call a lighting control unit board, or LCU. This is what is going to control all of the lighting. Again, for retailers, just so they know, it's going to be situated to the right-hand side with the main door open. What this board does is like based off of all of the LED trim we have around the outside of the cabinet, it controls all that lighting. So if the retailer come up and they see like on the left-hand side, a bar, or say a section of that bar of lights is out, the suspected problem is going to be the LCU. So they can take a look again to see if the LCU has power. From there, they will call the service people to come out, take a look at it, and troubleshoot and get it up to where it's running. But they can take a look at the board again to verify that it has power. And again, it's going to be situated on the right-hand side behind the main door. This cabinet, we did something a little bit different when it comes to our BV and our printer. Now, with this one, I always have to stop, the handle is going to be a little different than what you saw in the Cascada cabinet. This one here, again, the principle is the printer and the validator is all stacked. But in order for you to put the printer in the service position, because what you're seeing right now is the operator's position, there's this handle that you're going to have to grasp, and you're going to pull it forward. Now, you all's cabinet is probably going to be yellow in color. This is a Proto B build that I have, but it serves the same purpose. So in order for me to put the printer and validator into a service position, you'll see I will grasp the handle, will pull it forward, and as you see, it raises the printer and the validator into place. Then you go and do what you got to do as far as taking your printer out, do what you service it, your validator serves it as you need, so on and so forth. So they made it pretty easy. But in order for you to get it back down into its operator's position, how do we go about doing that? There's a trick to that one. What I'm going to show you here in this video, there's a hidden button. Now, I've taken off my blanking plate. So there, right here, what you see, there's a black cover that goes over this area right here. So you can't really see it, but to demonstrate what this lever is, I've taken this plate off. But what your retailer is going to do in order to put the validator back into the operator's position, there's this little silver pull tab right here. They will reach inside the cabinet, they will pull on this pull tab, and they will be able to take the handle and push it back to where it will put the printer and validator back into its served position, as I will demonstrate here in the video. So here it is, the validator and printers in the served position. In order for me to put it back into the operator's position, pull on that tab, and now I can grasp the handle, and I can take and I can push the build validator and printer back into the operator's position. So remind them that this tab is hidden, but in order for them to put it back into the operator's position again, they will have to pull this lever to to get it to go back the way it was. Now, when it comes to the belly door again has a hidden switch. Well, it's not really hidden. You have to have the main door open. With the main door open, and again, this is that area we was just talking about. So my validator and print is over here on the right-hand side. This is that plate that I was telling you about that I took off to show y'all where that release lever is. To the right, better yet, the left of your build validator and printer, you will see this little yellow tab down here. What's going to take place on this, you will simply pull up on it, and what's going to take place down at the bottom, your belly door will open. So on this cabinet, you really only have two locks that you got to worry about. That's going to be your main door lock as well as your cash box access door lock. Your belly door does not have a lock on this cabinet. So we'll go through, we'll pull on the lever, and as you see, and when I pull it up, the belly door actually opens. So you don't have to worry about a lock for this one. And it swings open naturally. So again, you don't have to worry about refreshing it. Last one for the cash box access door. When it comes to opening it, it's just like, well, let me click on it. Just like all the other cash box doors we have, you obviously insert your key, turn it counterclockwise, and the cash box door will open. One of the things we've done very differently with this cabinet is they have actually added in what I call them spring detents. Pause it right there. It's a little bit blurry, but as you saw, I unlocked the cash box door on the left-hand side here, as well as on the right-hand side. These are now spring loaders. So what the thought here is, or the premise is like, so you only need the key to unlock the cash box access door as well as the cash box door. You can then take the key out to close it and just lift up on the door and press it to where it will lock into place. So you no longer need to use your key to lock it back into place. You can just remove the key, lift the door, and it will lock it into place. And I think I demonstrated that in the video. Let's see. I think I did. Oh, I'm pulling the cash box out, obviously. And see, without a key, I can just take the door, lift it, and it's locked into place now. So you no longer need the key. Same thing with the cash box access door. All right. Last thing, CPU. Again, not that your retailers will use it a lot, but one of the things I do like to point out with this one, we do have the 7-segment display that I was telling you all about. Based off this 7-segment display, have your retailers take a picture of a known good CPU. So this way, when they open up the cabinet, they're trying to figure out if something's wrong with the cabinet, they can look at this picture and they'll see a code. If that code matches, that lets them know that the CPU is not their problem. It's probably, it could be like a cable that's not seated for the display or whatever, but take a picture of this. If they are having issues based off of saying there is something wrong and they see a different code, they can take a picture of the front of the CPU, then they can send it through the process or the method that y'all use to have service come out to take a look at it. Attach that picture so those guys, they'll look and they'll be like, okay, now I know, or I have an idea what is going on because they'll read that code, and that code will tell them it could be potential the power supply or whatever. But have them take a picture of the front of that CPU, a good one as well as a bad one. We also have on here what we call status LEDs. These status LEDs helps us identify if there are power issues. Again, they can take a quick look to see if the 12-volt power is good, 5-volt, or even the 3.3 volt, but they can take a look at that. As far as everything else on the front of here, it does have USB ports on the front that are accessible, but that could be used by your operators. It does have two Ethernet ports, and it also has a test button for your operators to get into the operators menu. But the reason why I show this is like based off of when it comes to, assisting your service team with troubleshooting, have them take a picture of this, and this way they can send this photo over to the service to help better facilitate them troubleshooting it. Based off of you all's OS, you're going to see something that's going to be a very different look. Now, I'm pretty sure you all have cabinets. Matter of fact, I know you all have cabinets that has our Argo software. You're now going to see a different look. So we've did a little dressing up. Based off of the OS, it still functions the same as our old Argos. The only thing that's different now is it's really just the look. But based off of the look, and your attendant me, this is exactly what they're going to see. They have a couple things that will actually help them out. Based off of starting from the left-hand side, over here you have a couple, I guess I would call them tabs that you can use. You have your home tab, your meters tab, your event history tab, as well as diagnostics. Now, based off of meters, obviously you want to go in and look at what the current meters and stuff are. You can hit the meters tab. If you're looking to do game call history or recall history and stuff, you can do it on the events history. If you're looking for software part numbers, that's obviously on the diagnostics. But what they've done, they made this menu to where it's like redundant in a few different ways. Starting over here right next to my main menus, machine information. They can now come in, they can see what the serial number is, if it had an asset ID, what the game theme is, denomination, but all the information is right here in front of them right now. They don't have to go through certain parts of the menu to find this information. All of that is there. Right next to machine information, moving to the right, we have what we call quick links. Based off of quick links, these are based off of all of the history or study of all the menus that have been accessed throughout L&W's time. These are the menus that are used more so than anything else. So instead of them, say, for example, they want to go and they want to get the accounting meters, they no longer have to hit the meters tab over here. They can go to this quick link and hit machine accounting, and it will take them into the machine accounting meter. They can go in and take a look at, the amount of notes that's been inserted, the last bill, what the current values are, how many coins have been put into the machine. They can do all that from quick links, and it'll take it directly to them. They also have game accounting, again, based off of current values and all that stuff. You can go in, they can do game history, researches, gameplay history, and all that. So we have quick links that they can actually access. Now, when it comes to putting the machine out of order, controlling sound and all that, to the right of quick links, as you can see, we now have an icon for sound settings. They can control, they can go in and do adjustments on sound. They can now just tap on this button, they can put the game out of service. Power save, that's a fun feature that we use based off of there are some jurisdictions to where a casino is not open 24 hours. They're open for X amount of hours. They can go in and put the game on power save modes. So that way when they open up, they can hit that. I doubt this feature may be available in your all's jurisdiction, and it may not. But if you see it, that's what it does. Again, QR codes is another feature that may be available in your jurisdiction. And all this does is this is used more so by operators than your retailers. But this gives us information based off of the machine. Report issues, again, operators will use it. And it may be in you all's OS and it may not. But if it is, this is a nice feature to where it's like if you hit it, what's going to take place? Your manager or Katie, one of you all will probably be at the location. You will hit this button. It's going to bring up this QR code. Based off this QR code, you'll take your picture out, and it'll scan that QR code, and it will launch this page that actually allows you, based off what you're seeing or what this machine is doing, You can put in a quick note and even take a picture of this cabinet and send it to that link that it will send it to and report this machine a lot quicker than having to make the phone call, wait for the operator to come out to work on the machine and stuff. You now have the ability to actually create a report right then and there for this cabinet. Then you'll have what we call the EGM restart. Based off the EGM restart, if you want to restart the machine, they can simply hit this button and it'll go ahead and restart the machine. Of all these buttons, the one I think that would be more so that you want to show your people will be the sound setting as well as out of service and quick links, because based off of these, they obviously have to go in if they have a gaming dispute. They need to be able to go in and do a gameplay history recall to show the patron based off of the last game played. This is where we started, and this were the results. So this is probably more so one of the buttons you want to teach your people about. But let me let this video play here, because I'm pretty much everything I talked about. I'm taking you through all these different tabs and stuff and showing you, this is the new look. It still works like Argos. Nothing's really changed. The only thing that's different is just the look itself. While this is playing, does anyone have any questions regarding the Cosmic cabinet?
No, looks good. Thank you.
Yeah,
All right.
do you have issue closing the door on this machine without losing fingers?
I have, well,
You still have all your fingers?
well, no,
Somewhat.
I've never known. Someone could do it. I mean, this is actually a good question, Ho, and I appreciate it. I mean, based off of the way the door closed, the precaution is, I mean, you always want to, give instructions based off of when you're closing the door. You never want to take your fingers and wrap it around the outside of the monitor. So let me go back here real quick. I want the door. Unlock this one. You never want, I mean, a person when they go to opening the door, we don't want them, and let's pause this in a second. So based off of it, like, see where I'm grabbing my hand this way, when they're going to close the doors, we don't want them to take their hands and cup it around the outsides of the display. I mean, in all actuality, we want them, based off of they were closing the door, to grasp it a little and start pulling the door down. Once they get the door, and once they pull it down enough, they can take their hand and just put it in front and press down, not have their hands on the side. Again, I've never seen anyone or I've heard of anyone catching their fingers, and because I haven't heard it, it's not saying it's not possible. It is possible, but give them instructions saying, okay, when it comes to closing the door, do not take your hands and grasp the monitors. One left hand on the left hand side,
Mm-hmm.
right hand side on the right hand side, and pull it down. You can obviously grasp it to pull it down, but once it starts coming down, move your hands out of the way and take one hand and apply it to the bottom. Let's see if I can get this so I can stop it. Right here. Hopefully it's not blurry. Come on. It's like such a very small area. Let me go back here. See if I can pause it. So I was trying to get that part right where my hand is. Click, click. So see where my hand is? It's right up my left hand. So once you get the door, they start pulling out. They can actually take their left hand and put it toward the front. So imagine this door being halfway down now. Once it's halfway down, this is where I'm going to take my hand, put it in that position, and then just press down on the door. So it's actually only one hand is in front of the display. Fair enough?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just that a lot of the other machines they allow you to put the full hands behind it and close it, right? But this one you cannot at all, eh?
No, I would not. Because you would then lose a finger.
Yeah.
And we don't want that to happen, that's for sure.
Mhm.
All right.
Sounds good.
So we'll go back to this video. Again, based off of this video, this is like one of the things you'll see on the events history. And what I did in the very beginning, I actually pointed out. So here's the event history tab. And we'll get this started. So this is your quick links. And then over here, for example, events history. I don't necessarily have to hit events history right there. I can hit it from, my quick links. But if I hit it from either location, it's going to take me into the same menu based off event history. Now, on the event history, you got, as you can see, you got event logs, You got cash in logs, cash out logs, any cashless transactions you have. And then we have more, but we don't use more. But based off of depending upon what you're looking for example, this one, on our event history, we want to look at our logs. I can go down through, I can see the number of times, the time of day, as well as the date time stamp, when these stores were open, what menus were in, and all that stuff. But again, this works just as it did with our old Argos. It's just a different look. And I'm pretty sure I'll go through all of these gameplay. You can go in, you can view your history and all that based off of you want to do a game recall or you have a dispute. It's the same function, the same as it did with our old Argos. It's just a different look. Here I'm showing you based off of a game recall how to go about it. The game recall, again, nothing has changed. We can spin the button. We can look at what the next outcome was. We can look at what the previous outcome was. So it's all still functioning the same. It's just the GUI is a different look. So based off your people explain to them, it's a different look, but it's nothing really different about it. It's just we tried to make it more more presentable, a nicer looking OS is what we've done. And I'm pretty much just, showing you like based off they do the game recall history, the game screen, based off of if you had the Unical in this example, you will see that on your top display, on the main display. These are things you will see, and it will actually go through that feature based off what that patron hit. So if they are disputing like I did not hit this win, or I played more than 150 coins or whatever it is, you can show that you can go through, and the game will emulate exactly what it was. And again, another one, I think this is machine accounting. Nothing has changed. It's a different way of going about getting to those menus. So based off if they want to see accounting, residual credits, denom, security errors, or any other errors, game accounting, progressive accounting, all this is still the same. It's just a different way. Now, one other thing that I will point out, let's say we were on the main menu, our home screen. Up here at the top, we've also made it to where it's like if you don't see the information based off of knowing where if you hit the home tab, what you're going to see, what you're going to see when you hit meters tab, what you're going to see or what you're looking for on the events history or even diagnostics, you now have a search. Based off of a search, you can actually go in and you can type. Like if I want to see my progressive, I want to see something pertaining to progressive, say. I will just simply type in the word progressive up here, whether I'm looking for progressive meters, progressive settings, and all that stuff. It will give you a list to select from, and then they could just simply select on if they want to do a progressive, say, current value. They can select that from that search, and it will take them directly to that progressive current value option. So we also have now a search feature that they can use. I'm pretty much just going to go through some of these tabs. Here's your game accounting, progressive accounting. Of course, I didn't play any games, but you can see current values, what the current amount is. If there's an overflow and all that stuff, you can see all that stuff, under different meters that you're looking for. Again, it's just a different look, so nothing has really changed. It's just knowing or becoming familiar with the menu. And if you're not, you have that search bar up here, and all you need to use is keywords: machine, game, events. This is what your volume menu is going to look like. Again, it's just a different look, but you have your up down arrows to control all of that, alarms, and you can do set all of those type things as well. So have your people go ahead and play with the menu. They can't break anything. But just go through and get familiar with the menu. And you will see this in all three cabinets, whether it's the VLT or even your class tree. With that pretty much concludes. So I'm gonna open this up for questions and answers. And let me stop sharing this so I can see. So go here, escape, bring up Teams. Does anyone have any questions?
I don't. Does anyone on the team have questions?
No, I do
No, I
not.
did too.
No.
Britt?
No. Thanks very much, Sly. We appreciate you going through all these cabinets.
All right. Now, how do you feel about this one? Because the last time I used to have, normally I would have the live camera and we bouncing around and everything. How did y'all feel about this presentation? Did it help a
Yeah.
lot better?
I I'd say they're fairly similar. I actually said on the side that I was impressed how well you're doing considering it's just talking and pictures and the videos. So no, I thought it was very good. I'm
All
good
right, all
with
right,
either way.
Yeah,
all right.
I
Hold.
only have experience with the videos. I haven't done one of your trainings that was live videos, but I thought you did a great job.
Yeah.
Well, I consider you lucky, Brittany, because I mean, when I had the camera and Katie, they was testing, it was bouncing around and everything, so
Uh,
you felt like it was on this like roller coaster.
Well,
it was
we've
fun.
done
Christina?
some live training. I know it can be tricky.
Yeah, yeah. Christina, you were saying something?
I was just agreeing, yeah. I did think it was pretty good, and yeah, I can see that it's good to have the video going and you can talk about the things. I mean, definitely better than if it was just like images. Um, but yeah, I don't mind either way.
All right, all right. Well, outside of me asking the one question, and Ho, thank you for the one question you asked. Is there anything that I did not cover that you all felt like needed to be covered?
No, I don't
Nope,
think
I
I
we,
think
think
I
so.
didn't have any
yeah.
questions. Nope.
No, I
Come on,
think
y'all
you
making
covered
me
it.
y'all
Yeah.
making me look good. You know that, right? Because I have two auditors on
But
here.
you are.
And an hour early.
Yeah, no, exactly. Well, with that, again, I want to tell y'all, hey, enjoy your Friday. Thank you all for your time and be safe.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
thank you
Yeah,
again.
you
appreciate
too,
you
Sly. Have a
taking the
good
time.
one.
Have a good rest
All
of your
right.
day.
Bye-bye.
Now,
Thank
Katie,
you.
this is
Yeah,
recorded, so you
okay.
know, once the recording is done, we will, I will give it over to Lisa, and then I'll send it over to you
Okay.
via a link, and this way you will have access to it, and you
Yeah,
can show it to your other people.
okay.
All
Awesome.
all
Thank you
right,
very much.
all
Sounds
righty,
good.
everybody,
Thank
take
you.
care.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
Bye.
have
Have
a
a
good
good
Thank you.
weekend.
weekend.
Bye.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Have a good day. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.